Good morning, everybody. In physics class, in this physics topic, we are starting with the topic electrostatics. The electrostatics is of two parts according to your syllabus. First topic, one is electric charge and fields. Second topic covers electric potential and capacitance. Electrostatic. Static means stationary or rest. Electro, ELECTRO, is actually taken from ELEKTRO, Greek word. The root word electro is coming from electron. What is this electron? Electron is the name of one kind of fossil, that is amber. And this amber was called as electron. And when this amber was rubbed with the silk cloth or rabbit fur and brought close to this amber rod, when it is rubbed with the silk cloth or rabbit fur and brought close to the paper pieces, people observed that this rod attracted the paper pieces, and this property they thought it is only for this amber, which was called as electron by the Greeks, and they thought that this material is also called as electron, and this property is related to the electricity. That is a root word electricity came from. And this electron later changed, KTRO spelling changed to CTRO, electron. That is what we are using presently. Benjamin Franklin did the experiment and proved that this word electron or this property electron or electricity is not only related to this amber, and it is universal phenomena. He proved that all the metals in the universe will show the property of attracting the materials like glass, grass pieces, etc. after rubbing the different materials, and he named the charges as positive and negative charges. Material, matter. Matter means that it is a material. Any material is also called as matter. It has some mass and occupies some space. What is this matter made of? The basic particles of the matter is nothing but atom. This atom contains small particles called as neutrons and protons. This center part of the atom called as a nucleus. Around this nucleus, tiny particles are rotating in the closed paths called as orbits, and these particles are electrons. These electrons were discovered and the charge was found by J.J. Thomson. J.J. Thomson discovered the electrons, and the charge of the electron was found by the scientist called as a millicon. And protons were discovered by Rutherford, and protons have the positive charge, electrons have the negative charge. And for neutral atom, plus and minus are equal, and net charge will be zero, then we call that as a material is also called as a neutral materials. Protons have the large mass, nearly 1850 times the mass of the electrons. Electrons are very small particles. Protons are heavy particles, and neutrons are also heavy particles, but neutrons do not have a charge. Charge is present along with the particles which have a mass. Electrons, protons, neutrons, but neutrons have a mass, do not have a charge. Protons and electrons have the mass also, charge also, and charge alone do not exist. Charge exists along with the particles which have the mass, but mass can exist for neutrons, like mass can exist without having the charge. And if you use the term particles, particle and material, difference is that particles have the negligible size, like electron is a particle, proton is a particle, we call it as. They have the negligible size, whereas the material has a considerable size we can observe. And first topic we are going to discuss is electric charge and electric fields. Electric charge and field. And field means an electric field. Electron is actually taken from ELEKTRY, which is nothing but the name of amber. And electron was discovered by J.J. Thomson. And charge of the electron charge was found by Millikan. And proton was discovered by Rutherford. This electron and protons, they are taken as a fundamental charges or basic charges. Electron, symbol we generally take is E. It has the negative charge minus 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. Coulomb is the SI unit of electric charge. And proton, also taken as with the symbol E we can take, but it is taken as a plus E or plus 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. Electron and proton have the different mass but have the same charge. For the neutral atom, if you have taken, that must have the equal number of electrons and protons so that the net charge or total charge will be 0. Next we are going to discuss properties of charges. Simply charges means electric charges. Charge, symbol we take either with a small q or capital Q. Charge and mass cannot be defined exactly. We don't know why charge is there, what actually charge is. Similarly, we don't know what is mass, what is causing the mass. Okay, mass, but we know the effect of the mass. From the properties, we take the definitions of the charge as well as the mass. So, mass, we know that it provides the weight by the gravitational force only. So, mass, but what we generally take is the of the particles. How many protons are there? Mass number. These little number of protons and number of neutrons. That only gives the mass number for us. But we don't know what is actually mass. And causing mass is because the gravitational force, that is weight, we can tell in terms of the weight. And similarly charge, we don't know what actually charge is, why that charge is coming, but we know the properties of the charges. So from the properties we take the definition of the charge. What is a charge? Charge is the property, it is the property of material. It is a property of material due to which one charged particle or one object with a charge attracts or repels other object with a charge. One object with the charge can exert force, means influences. We use the term influence for the force. The charge, it is the property of material due to which one object with charge can exert force on other objects which also has charge. Depending on the kind of the charge, plus and minus, the force can be attractive or repulsive. That we are going to discuss later. So charge, we don't know exactly, but based on the properties only we will discuss that. If you have one charged particle, say plus Q1, other charged particle plus Q2, then force between these two is repulsive force. Plus and plus, we call that as like charges. Minus and minus also called as like charges. Minus q1 and minus q2. Between these two like charges, minus and minus, plus and minus, the force is a repulsive force. Means one charge influences the other charge, can exert the force on the other charge. But if you take unlike charges, plus q1 and another one is minus q2, then the force between these two is attractive force. Forces of two types here. One is attractive or repulsive. But what if you have taken one charged body and another one is a neutral body? In case if you take one charged body, I have taken this rod which is having the positive charge and I kept in the neutral body. Here you have to be careful with the term. The neutral body, neutral particle both are different. Neutral particles do not have any charges inside. But neutral body means it has an equal number of positive and negative charges. Neutron, if you take neutron also, neutron and proton are made of the particles called as a quarks. We generally talk about electrons are fundamental particles, but because electrons are easily available for us, protons are available for us. But these protons and neutrons are made of the other particles called as quarks. These quarks are the more fundamental particles than the electrons and protons. And three quarks combined form the neutron and protons, but that we are not going to discuss right now. Later we will discuss about these quarks. One more point related to the quarks. The quarks is Q, U, A, R, K. 6 types of the quarks are there. They have the charge less than the electron charge. Generally we talk about the proton electron charge is the fundamental charge, but quarks have the smaller charge which is a fraction of the electron charge. Practically not available for freely for us, so we don't talk about the quarks in general cases or applications. So quarks have the charges plus 2 by 3 times the electron charge. E stands for electron charge, that is 1.6 into the power of minus 90 coulombs approximately. And also can have the charge minus 1 by 3 times E. Quarks are the charge fraction of the electron charge. They are present not freely, but they are inside the neutron and the protons and other nucleus particles, but not available freely like electrons. So if you take this rod which has a positive charge, and we are brought close to the neutral object. Because of the neutral object has an equal amount of the neutrons and protons and electrons, then what happens is the electrons will be attracted with the plus comes to one edge. So leaving, because electrons travel to the left end, leaving the right end, vacant, that area where electrons are lost and went away, protons are more in number. So that becomes a plus. So what happens now? Plus is close to this minus, attraction will be there. At the same time, plus is a repulsion with the plus, but the distance is more, the repulsion is less than that of the attraction. So charging body can attract the neutral body. Charging body can attract the neutral body. In case if you take the amber rubbed with a silk cloth or a glass or a fur, then if you bring it close to the paper pieces are attracted. Why they are attracted? Paper is neutral. If you take this glass rod rubbed with a silk cloth, always the electrons are lost from the glass rod, and where the electrons went, they went to silk cloth. So glass rod gets the positive charge and silk gaining the extra electrons get the negative charge. By rubbing one metal with the other material, the transfer of the electrons takes place and objects are getting charged. We call it as a electrification. The first glass rod was neutral, silk cloth also neutral, but now they are getting some charges called as excess charges. And this process is called as electrification, and we say objects are electrified or charged. We can call it as objects are charged. Now in this case, if four electrons are lost from the glass rod, where they went to the silk cloth. This is silk, this is glass. Then after that, what I am doing is take out this silk cloth and keep this glass rod close to the paper pieces. Why these paper pieces are attracted is this glass rod attracts the electrons in the paper pieces close to it. So electrons are moving close to this side, leaving the other end. Then other end becomes plus, near end becomes equal to minus. So this minus attracted by the plus, therefore it goes to touch with this. In case of the glass rod, electrons cannot move freely, easily. But in the case of the conductors, we are going to discuss the properties of the conductors and insulators later. Here, the charges, when it touches this, electrons are transferred to the glass rod, but very slowly transfer takes place. So it sticks for some time. In case if all the electrons are transferred to the glass rod after touching, all electrons are transferred to the glass rod, then it remains only with the positive charge. And by contact charges are going here into this, and you will get the like charges transferred to the paper piece we call, and the repulsion, plus repulsion will be there, the paper piece will fall out of the glass rod. The piece first attracts, then electrons are transferred and then drops out, where they get the transfer of the electrons completely to the glass rod. So once again, charge. What is charge actually is identified. Whether the object is charged or having a charge or not, we can check up is by bringing the one charged body close to the other body, there should be attraction or repulsion. If the like charges are there, they will be repelled, unlike charges will be attracted. But charged body can attract neutral body also. Neutral body, we don't know whether it is having a charge or not. How do you know it is? By means of the instrument called as a electroscope. Electroscope is an instrument used to detect the charge. So I am going to discuss about this later. Next, second point. Charge is scalar quantity. SI unit of electric charge is coulomb. This is important one for us. Symbol is capital C. And CGS unit. We don't use the CGS unit for the theory examination purposes, but CGS units are important for the competitive exams purposes. CGS unit is called as electrostatic units, ESU, or STAT code. STAT code. ESU stand for electrostatic units. STAT code are taken from the static electricity. Static means stationary charges. So in this topic of electrostatic, we are going to discuss the properties of the electric charges and their effects when charges are at rest. But practically charges will never be at rest. We say talk about the charges at rest. Charges means we are talking here is mainly electrons. Electrons will never be at rest. They will be always revolving around the nucleus. But we say talking about the rest means on the object surface somewhere they are present only on the object surface, not going from one object to other object. So we call it as a stationary. See ESU is unit and 1 coulomb. 1 coulomb is nothing but equal to 10 into speed of light in ESUs, electrostatic units. That means 1 ESU is nothing but equal to, this is nothing but equal to, write as speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 into 10 is coming, so 10 to the power of 9 ESU is 1 coulomb is the conversion relationship. 1 ESU is also equal to 1 stat code, meaning the same. And one more unit is there, that is called as an electromagnetic unit, EMU. Electromagnetic unit, EMU. 1 EMU is equals to 10 coulombs. It's a bigger unit, but we don't use it here mostly. We are going to use only SI unit only. You have to go through CGS unit and electromagnetic unit is not required to remember for PU theory purposes. Electromagnetic unit is word taken is when the electron at rest. Electron at rest, it produces a field called as electric field. It produces a field called as electric field. When electron is in motion, it produces an electric field and magnetic field, moving with some velocity. But when the electron is accelerating means velocity is changing with time. Whenever the velocity changes, the accelerated electron produces a field called as electromagnetic field, both electric field as well as magnetic field. So that's called as electromagnetic field. From that we take the unit called as a electromagnetic unit, EMU we call it. Next is dimensional formula of electric charge. Dimensional formula of electric charge is taken from current. Current is taken as a fundamental physical quantity. From that current we take the electric charge. Unit dimensional formula. The dimensional formula of electric charge is Q is equals to I into T. Q equal to I into T. That means 1 coulomb is equals to 1 ampere into 1 second. This is the dimension formula immediately. conductors and insulators. Conductors and insulators. In the conductors, these are the materials in which electrons are loosely bound to the nucleus. Even though it is electrically neutral, electrons can easily move from one atom to other atom, loosely bound to the nucleus, and that material is called as the conductors. Conductors permit electrons to pass through them atoms easily from one atom to other atom. We can say through this material electrons can easily pass without much resistance. They provide less resistance for the flow of the electrons. So conductors, they offer less resistance for moving electrons. So electrons can easily move from one atom to other atom or to the material easily. That material is called as a conductors. What are the examples? You can say electrons can easily move through these materials. Examples: all metals. All metals are conductors. And best conductor known is silver is the best conductor. And next comes is copper. But experimental purposes we are going to use for the electrostatic experiment we use brass balls, they are called the pittal balls. Brass, it's a alloy of copper. It is also called as a pittal. And insulators. They provide more resistance for the moving electrons. That means electrons cannot move easily from one atom to other atoms. Electrons cannot move freely through these materials. That means they provide more resistance for the moving electrons. They provide more resistance for moving electrons. Examples for these are insulators: plastic, porcelain, and dry papers, dry wood, glass, pure water, etc. These insulators do not let the electrons to pass through them easily, and whereas the conductors electron can pass through easily. And water, pure water is only insulator. Wood, dry wood is insulator, dry paper is insulator, dry cloth is also insulator. But if they become wet, means water alone is a pure water only insulator. But if dry wet wood is there, water is in the wood, water in the paper, then that metal becomes conductors. So wet wood, wet papers, wet cloths are conductors. So electricity when you are handling, you should not handle with the wet wood or wet cloths, wet papers, only dry we have to use. But pure water is again a electrical insulator, is the best insulator. Next point is, in case you take the metal spheres, conducting sphere is conductor, and we are taking the spherical object. In the case of the conducting sphere, charges rest only, in the case of the conductors, charges rest only on the outer surface. And if you take the conducting sphere, charges can move easily from one atom to other atom. They distribute uniformly they distribute uniformly. In case if I keep only one charge, it rests here. But if I give the two charges, they rest in the exactly opposite sides. If I give four charges, they rest like this. So thus that the distance between the charges remains the same. So that they will be uniformly distributed on the conducting surfaces. And charges rest only on the outer surface but not the inside. Inside is electrically neutral. In case if I take hollow sphere, hollow metal sphere, this is not applicable for plastic or insulators. If you take the hollow metal sphere, if I drill a hole, if you make a hole and put electron inside, that will not stay inside. Already existing electrons of the atoms pushes this electron out, and this electron comes and stays outside. How many number of electrons you put inside, they come and sit and stay only on the outer surface. So electron charges rest only on the outer surface, both positive charges as well as negative charges. And what is the difference between positive and negative charges given to the object? This is called electrification. If I am giving negative charge means I am adding extra electrons. If I am giving positive charge means I am removing the electrons. So adding electrons mass is negligible, but mass is there. So when I add the electrons, mass increases. If I remove the electrons, means giving positive charge, mass decreases. So if you are giving object negative charge, minus charge, mass increase. But if I give positive charge to the object, electrons are added here. But if we give positive charge to the object, giving positive charge means actually we don't give positive charge. We cannot move the protons easily. We can move only electrons. If you are touching the object, actually we can transfer only electrons which are on the outer surfaces. And if I give the positive charge means we are removing the